like, do you remember there used to be a versus of Vanity versus Apollonia?
Nah.
Well, we weren't even alive at that time. Well, no, we weren't alive at. Used to be an original versus of Vanity versus Apollonia. That was like versus before versus. That was like back in the 80s, and Vanity, um, she was originally supposed to be in Purple Rain, but her and Prince fell out. So he swapped her out with Apollonia. So Apollonia went on Purple Rain, and Vanity went on The Last Dragon. And The Last Dragon is a Motown film. You know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm
Yeah.
just inside scoop. And within the 80s, talk about comparing women, talking about having a versus. It was Vanity versus Apollonia.
I like,
I
like that.
I I think Vanity is
Oh
prettier,
yeah.
but when I've had conversations, I actually had conversations with men, legitimately. I actually had conversations with men, and they would say that Vanity is prettier, but Apollonia is sexier. And it was funny because Vanity is half black, half Canadian, and Apollonia is Puerto Rican. And any woman, whether you're black or white, could take that. You talk about status, you talk about class, and all these things like that. The ethnicity always plays a part because we're going back to the 80s. And even though in my head I still think the 90s was 10 years ago because I'm just one of those people, um I don't know. I don't know. I think Vanity is prettier than Apollonia, and I think Vanity was sexy, and I see myself in Vanity, me personally, because the way that she was a love of Prince's life. And it's so crazy because they were born a month apart. Not not a month apart. I think a year apart. But whatever. No, excuse me. They died in 2016. It was weird. Anybody that's like a huge Prince and Vanity fan, they died like into that. Like she died in what was I don't know. She's a January baby, and I think she died in like February. He's Prince is a Gemini, and he died during April of 2016, and they died fairly close. And they were the most. He was Prince was very handsome. Vanity was very beautiful, and they both don't have children. He was supposed to have a child with Maite, but the child became like a stillborn or died at birth. And Vanity just they never reproduced separately, and they never reproduced together. And I know that their hearts were together. Like I'm a heavy like Prince and Vanity fan, and Vanity was beautiful.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
but it was a heavy, back in the 1980s. The big verses in the 1980s was Vanity versus Apollonia. That was a huge thing. And yeah, like they could say like put it like this: Vanity was one of those pretty females that she's pretty, but she don't really want to compete too much. She's just in her own lane. But Apollonia, she's competitive, and men talk about that nowadays a lot. Like which female is most competitive. A man could be in a relationship with a woman that's good for them, whatever, whatever, but they want the female that's competitive.
I
But no. I'm telling you, they're saying that they want the female that's competitive. But why do you want? How is it that you want the female that's competitive, but yet at the same time, on the flip side of things, you say that you want the female that's not competitive. You don't want the female that has a career. You don't want a female because if a female is competitive, that means she'll compete against you as a man, and she'll exude masculine
nah.
tendencies. But then that's why I understand me. I relate to Vanity. I
What?
relate deep in my heart. I understand Vanity because she was a beautiful woman. She was a woman of humility. Yeah, she made mistakes and she dabbled into drugs and whatever. She loved Prince, but she was never able to forgive Prince because when they released the Purple Dragon and they released Purple Rain back in the 1980s, that whole script with Prince and Apollonia, that was supposed to be Vanity, but Prince gave that to Apollonia. So I understand as a woman, I understand why Vanity was upset with that. With not necessarily Apollonia. She actually took it out on Prince, and she was never able to get back with Prince because you gave that script to her, and then people like me, I'm a huge fan of The Last Dragon, which is a Motown record movie or whatever the case may be. But Purple Rain got the bigger, numbers and stuff like that. So I understood. Me personally, I understood where Vanity was coming from. But Vanity and Prince love each other, but they was never able to get back together because of pride and stuff like that. And that's like the epitome of relationship and stuff like that that goes on today. And it's like he really replaced Vanity with Apollonia and let Apollonia take her whole character and stuff like that. I don't know. Men don't act like men are not evil and they don't do wicked things, because that really hurt Vanity's feelings. And that's very sad. That's very sad.
Here, look here. Like I was with a woman, and I guess I was just like and she was cool. She did her job for the most part, but she didn't really give much. She didn't have much. Um, she didn't give much effort. She just did like what she needed to do. And like I had this friend that was like kind of like really, she was riding for me. Like she was down, and so like the bad thing was like my chick, she had worked out of town. She had lived out of town, so like I was just like my friend that was riding with me.
In
I,
the meantime,
I was just like, man, like this is a better option, but she never really just like she never really just like staked her claim. So I was just like, well, might as well just keep keep the chick that kind of like staked her claim. But I mean, she could have easily just like, I mean, she could have had me if she really just like staked her claim, but she didn't. So I was just like, well, I mean.
so what is it that you want now? You know that you've been developed, you went through your experiences as a man and everything like that. And what do you want from a woman right now? At this age and stage in your life, like what would be good for you? Like, and I'm asking that in a sense of like what's good for you, what's comfortable for you. Now that you've learned, you've grown, because we're all growing and everything like that. None of us are perfect and everything. And what's good for you? What do you want from a woman? What's peaceful for you? What will make you complete? Like, you're a man, you have your woman, and things just go smooth for you. Like, what will be great for you as a man?
Um, for me, I mean, everybody's different, but for me, like, I need a woman that's gonna like stay put and not like hit the self destruct button when like there's conflict. Cause like I always said that like a lot of chicks with me, like they won't, they kind of won't like they'll let other dudes get away with way worse things than they will let me get away with. Like,
In your experience.
yeah, in my experience, like if like if if I like if somebody if like there was a big kerfuffle I had one time, like this chick, she had changed my Facebook relationship status, so she put that she was in a relationship with me, and then like I just ignored it because I was just like, you should have asked me first, you know what I'm saying? But she got really upset with me and she did not let that shit go. I'm just like, nigga, I was like, dude be cheating, and well, dudes be doing some grimy stuff. Dudes be driving chicks' cars and wrecking them and taking their money and, and and all that, and basically putting them on the stroll. But like, you violated. You try to like put my business out without asking me, and now you can't forgive me for that. Like, so and
That's very disrespectful and entitled.
well, I mean but see, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. That's just my experience.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm just saying, yeah,
or
like
or
that's
or or like one time I called this chick. I said, stop being insecure. That was it. Like, that was it. Just, she just like stopped. Like, she was really hurt. Cause I told her stop being. I said, stop acting insecure. And like, I'm just like, dudes do way worse things. So I'm just like, I just want a chick that's gonna just stay put and just like not
What's a nutshell of stay put? Like, put it like this, because I know, we've had, this is our sixth live, right? So let me ask you this question, right? Okay. There are women in life, right? That they're in relationships, whether it's girlfriend, boyfriend relationships, or maybe they're women that are married to men. Let's say if your woman is going to like sporting like events or she's going to the club and she's taking pictures with other men. Let me ask you this. What's the difference between a woman that takes pictures with men in the club versus a woman that takes pictures with men at a UFC fight or a boxing fight or a basketball fight or a soccer, whatever sports fight? How would you feel if you're a man at home taking care of your child and your woman is at a UFC fight and she's taking pictures with other men? Because I know you said you want a woman that stays still. So
When I say stay still, I mean that's gonna like not get all flustered when things don't go her way and just like leave. That's what I mean by
leave
stay.
where?
Just get out the relationship.
Okay, so are you okay with your woman going to the club or going to sporting events, going to basketball games, going to UFC fights and stuff like that?
Pictures with other men?
Yeah,
No.
because
Why? Why you?
again, what's the difference between a liberal woman that takes pictures with men at a club versus a supposedly woman that says she's conservative and she takes pictures with men at a UFC fight while you're at home with the children? What's the difference between those two women? Because as far as I'm concerned, I would think they're both the
You're
same.
not like I'm not gonna be at home anywhere, and you over here taking gallivanting around with other men. Like nah, like you violated. If I'm home, you gonna be home with me. We gonna be watching the fight. We gonna be watching the fight together. Like, yeah, what you gotta go to the UFC fight for and take pictures with other men? Like that's stupid. Like what kind of sense does that make? That
How
don't make.
about even if she's not having sex with those other men?
I don't care. Like that. That's what Donald Sterling was tripping about. He's like, why are you taking pictures with other men? Like, that's what he was tripping about with his side chick. So like, no,
So a woman can claim to be liberal. She's just, who knows, whatever her profession is or whatever. She's taking pictures with men in the club as opposed to the woman that says she's conservative and she's taking pictures with men at a UFC fight or a boxing match somewhere in Vegas or whatever. These two women are the same woman, right? The conservative woman that takes pictures with men at the UFC fight as opposed to the liberal woman who takes pictures with men at the club.
if you my woman,
They're two of the same, correct?
if you're
While
my
you
woman,
as a man, you're staying home with the children.
why the hell would I be staying home with the children? Like that's weird. But if you're my woman, you ain't gonna be taking pictures. You ain't gonna be hanging around other men. Like that's disorderly. Like nah. Like
That's and to go into what you say, what you prefer as a woman that takes pictures with men at sporting events, that's considered to be a woman that doesn't stay still,
when I
correct?
say a woman that will stay put, I'm talking about stay in a relationship. Like for instance, okay, so something about me. Any chick I've been like, I've always been like, I've always been serious with. I never really, I probably like broke it off one time, but like all the other times, like they broke it off. They're like, oh, I can't do this. This is too hard. And I'm just like, cause I said, because you don't like my tone, like you tripping. That's what I'm talking about. My feelings are not important. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. So that's what I mean by stay put. Like you can't let the world get away with murder and get mad because like I hold my fork wrong. Like that's some bullshit. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's like people hold me to a higher standard than everybody else, and like that shit ain't fair. Like what sense does that make? So that's what I'm saying. Like I need a woman that's gonna like stay put. That's gonna like not hit the red button every time things don't go her way. And even just looking back, I could have handled some certain things differently, but at the end of the day, if you want to be there, you're gonna be there. That's what I've learned. Like, if a woman wants to be there, she's gonna be there. Like, a woman will fly across the country to be with a man that she wants to be with, pay for her own ticket and everything. You know what I'm saying?
the gosh, why something is I don't know what's wrong. What's her name? The husband said that he's the prize, and she actually was intentional
Jonathan
with the
and
was
Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens.
yes. I think that I remember I've been in experiences with men told me, but you know what? I mean, like I said, I told you, like I'm not trying to be funny. I'm really not a gold digger. I'm really not materialistic, and I've been in situations in my younger years. I ain't even fucking know better, but like they want me to meet them. Nowadays, I'm not meeting no man. Like if I'm in Stanford and you're in New Haven, it's like 50 minutes, and you telling me I have to drive to you. We didn't even meet each other yet, and I gotta meet up with you, and I don't even know. Like I'm not gonna sit there and look at your page. That's because who I am now. But when I was stupid, and when I used to be lost, and I was very kind-hearted, when I was a sweetheart, I always like I don't know. It's ridiculous how people don't understand how kind I am.
But,
I'm still kind because I can't shake it off. You understand? But like how especially to men, how kind I used to be.
but
No, I'm not doing that no more, yo. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not driving 50 minutes. I don't even know who you are. I'm not I used to be dumb.
look, you got to stop saying what you won't. Like you got to speak in more.
No, now I know where I'm at. Now I know where I'm at.
Saying.
And I'm very spiritual. I'm very disciplined. And I always forever. I've always been a woman of willpower. Even believe it or not, like my journey and my experience, like I told you, I say it all the time. In each one of these lives, I talk about how I used to be like intrigued with the Nation of Islam. Not nation, excuse me. I mean them too. Don't get me confused. But I also was intrigued with Islam and 5%er. One of my biggest things that intrigued me with like 5% or stuff like that was when I was going through my vegan journey, when I was going through my vegetarian pescatarian journey, because these dudes that I would chop it up with from Connecticut and New York, some of them were Muslims, some of them were 5%ers, some of them were Nuwabians and stuff like that. They were, or some of them, not all of them, some of them got locked up, went to jail, got home, locked up, went home, locked up, got home, whatever. These are the type of dudes, black males. And at that time, I took them serious. Whatever I seen them in their koofies, I was very serious with them and stuff like that. Like not relationship, but just because I told you I don't know if you noticed this about me, but I'm a very social person, and I can have conversations with anybody, whatever your lifestyle may be, and I don't judge people. And a lot of these guys were just when they were becoming Muslims and 5%ers, they were just on a journey, excuse me, for truth and clarity and wisdom. And they did. What are you laughing at? You gotta leave the East Coast. Wait, did he just literally say, "Well, you tell me every lie"?
Huh?
Did this Mr. Joe Fix It, the guy that knows women's body very well? Did he just tell me I gotta leave the East Coast?
Say you need a long hug.
I need a longhorn.
Hug. You need a hug.
Oh, why? And am I aggressive? And am I? Why? Why did you pin that? Why did you pin that?
All right, I unpin it. It was. I found it funny though, I mean, hey, we all need a hug. We all need a hug. So
I don't need shit. I'm a strong woman. I'm independent.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
I'm being an asshole. But like these men, no. I'm just going into the men that I've met that were, some of these black men were 5%ers, Muslims, Nawabians. Because I'm here in New England and I'm in the tri-state. And one thing that I can't, even though I post my statuses, I posted it today and everything like that. I can't knock men that want to come to the truth and want to have clarity and peace. If you're an 18-year-old black man or a 25-year-old black man, 28-year-old black man, you've been in and out of jail, not necessarily, or you've been a black man, just maybe you lack parental guidance and mentorship. I don't know,
The
but these
truth.
are that, and then and there's a number of black men too that I knew. They were born Christian, became Muslim, or they were born Christian, became 5%ers. I even know 5%ers that actually read the Bible. This is just me because I'm very, like I said, I'm conservative, but I have a free spirit to me. And I remember when I would chop it up with these black guys that I know from the tri-state in New England, and I'm like, how is it that you was born Christian, you became a Muslim, or you became a Nuwabian, or you became a 5%er? How is it that you went back to Christianity? Mind you, my ass is lost, and I'm born, like I told you all the time, I'm baptized into Orthodox Christianity as being an East African, and even though these black men, because I told you I was pro-black, so I exclusively dated black men. So not, and these are not men that I dated. These are just men that I chopped it up with. And a number of these black men went back to Christianity. And I was so intrigued by that because I was like, how is that you was born Christian, went to Islam, and then you went back to Christianity? Now, in my lifetime, more than ever, I actually understand them. I couldn't understand, and these are men at the end of the day that I told you they were looking for peace, they were looking for clarity, wisdom, and an answer. These were like basically independent mind black men, and you'd be surprised the type of people I've come across in my life. You laughing at me and stuff, thinking that this is a joke, but no, that this is serious. Now I understand why they went back to Christianity. So
Well, I think that,
I'm telling you that these type of black men exist.
I mean,
Like they left, they dabbled into 5%, or they dabbled into Islam, but they went back to Christianity. And even now, I could chop it up. I never. It's not that I dealt with them. I'm just saying I know them from my neck of the woods, from the tri-state in New England, and I'm telling you that they actually went back to Christianity. They went back to God, and they're doing good. They have like some of them like have wives, have children, active like, and I think maybe that's my problem when I talk about that there is hope for black men. Like they're not all Democrats, they're not all liberals, they're not all lost. There's a number of black men that's independent and responsible out there. Even when yesterday when I posted my video on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, there's a number of black men that shit doesn't even benefit. Not that it's supposed to, but they're independent. They don't even need that shit. So I don't know. Yeah, I can laugh at me. That's fine, but whatever.
it's all funny games. We're not laughing at you. Um, the whole thing about black men having hope. Um, I'm just I'm at a point in my walk where it's it's not about black, white, or anything like that. The Bible says, there's gonna come a time where all men seek the Lord, and I think we're at that time because this black thing, they went to 5%ers and they went to Islam because they're trying to find their identity. There's no
That's
identity
what
in
I
black,
just said.
so
Trying to find their identity. They're trying to find peace. They're trying to find clarity. They made mistakes,
yeah.
and stuff like that. And me, I who am I to judge them if I made mistakes myself? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm telling you, it's different. They're all individuals, right? I'm not trying to branch them. I'm not trying to make them all one world and all that shit. But I'm telling you that a number of them, they was born Christian, they became Muslim, or maybe even 5%er, or some of them became Nuwabian. I know these men, and they came back to Christianity. And when I was talking to them back in 2015, 2016, 2013, whatever, I knew I knew who they were. I'm like, even if I met them for the very first day, I'm like, oh, you Nuwabian, oh, you 5%, or you, because I was learning at the same time that they was learning, but because they were men, or because I was pro black myself, I told you this numerous times. I was pro black, so I was looking to, like, they're going through a journey of trying to get clarity and answers and guidance and identity, which no problem. I was looking to them. That's not their fault. That's on me. But I'm telling you, a percentage of them, I don't have the exact numbers, but they ended up going back to Christianity. You even talk about Farrakhan. What does Farrakhan say the most? Farrakhan. I tell people all the time, if, because like I said, I've been fascinated. I used to be fascinated with the Nation of Islam when I was growing in my own journey. And Farrakhan always says Jesus, 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 Jesus. I've never heard Farrakhan speak Arabic, and I've never heard Farrakhan say Allah. But aside from Jesus, I have heard Farrakhan say Elijah Muhammad, because Farrakhan is a man that never had a father. Even though his father is Jewish and he's happens to be Caribbean man, as you know, by way of his mother, Farrakhan just never really had a father. So Elijah Muhammad, in many ways, was his father, because I told you in my last live that you talk about a 21-year-old man, a 23-year-old man. I don't think that he's fully developed. That's why a lot of people knock me when they're like, "Oh, Lydia, like, you know," I've heard people tell me that Fred Hampton, you know, from the Chicago chapter or the Chicago sector of the Black Panthers, Fred Hampton. I still have, me personally, I still have love and admiration for Fred Hampton, because, yeah, he was only 21 years old. And, you know, when he was killed and murdered in front of his pregnant wife over there in Chicago, he lived the life that it's one thing for a man to say that he's pro-black and he does anything but if you say that you're pro-black and you're growing and you're developing and you actually live the lifestyle, more than likely, as a man, as a black man, when you grow older and older, 28 years old, 35 years old, 40 years old, whatever it is, you could leave the pro-black lifestyle and just be a free man, because you're a man of action at the core. You're a man of action. You understand? And I know that, hypothetically speaking, in my heart of all hearts, if Fred Hampton wasn't murdered at 21 years old and he got to live a longer life, I think he would have snapped out of that. That's just me, but it was written. So who am I to, you understand? I can't really, whatever. But like I said, if I see that there's a black man, he's young, oh, I was born Christian, I become Muslim, or I become Nuwabian, or I become 5%er. I'm not judging these men because they want truth and they want clarity and they want peace. And then they ended up, I'm talking about in my personal life, in a tri-state, in New York or Connecticut or whatever, they ended up going back to Christianity. And that's God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not trying to be like funny. I'm not trying to come off as some communist, because I'm gonna get called maybe a liberal for this. But no, I'm talking about like real life situations, because everybody has their own experiences, and you know what I mean? Like they have their own, everybody grows. We're not perfect. So it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. You understand? I didn't came across so many. That's what I was supposed to get, my freaking, excuse me, I'm fucking my damn charger and shit.
Mm. We've been so we about to wrap up. I'm gonna let her come back with some closing remarks. So, any closing? Because we've been cooking for a minute. We don't want the food to burn.
I'll get a hug one day, Mr. Fix It. One day.
Oh, come on now. It's never that bad. Like, relax. It's never that bad.
No, I'm just answering. Like, I'm just finally answering him.
We all need a hug like that. We all need human touch, so we'll die. We all need to touch people that love us. Like we need to feel that energy. Like somebody's hug could actually heal you. Like real talk. But any closing remarks?
I guess I'll go circle the block and be like, women shouldn't be materialistic towards men. If you're getting to know a man as a woman and he tells you what he does as a career, have a conversation with him. Don't just sit there and be like, okay, he tells you he's a bus driver, and you have so much of a conditioned response that you don't want to listen to that man. You're just like, oh, he's a bus driver. Okay, whatever. You don't know. Just ask him questions. See where his head is at. What is his goals? Just, is he a man of ambition? For men to women. Now I'm like, be on the reverse side of things and everything like that. As a man, when you get to know a woman, okay, maybe she's pretty, maybe she's your type, maybe she's, I don't know, whatever your physical attributes may be, but get into her head too. As a man, get into her head so that you can see her heart. You understand? Like, what, like, is she materialistic? Does she genuinely, do you see, for the future reference for yourself, to protect yourself as a man, is she going to genuinely like you for who you are? And to all the men out there, I want you all to know that a a woman that says that she's liberal and she takes pictures with men, like let's say like any man that has a girlfriend or a wife, if your wife or your girlfriend claims to be Democrat or liberal and she's taking pictures with men in the club, and if your wife says that she's conservative and she takes pictures with men at UFC fights while you as a man is at home, those two women, one is liberal taking pictures with men in the club, the other woman is a conservative taking pictures with different men at UFC fights. I just want you to know that those two types of women are the same, and it's disrespectful to you as a man. Those are my closing remarks. The end.
What I
So what do you have to say?
what I say for men, cause I mean I don't even know what to tell women anymore. I say for men, just read a woman's body language. Women are big on body language. You know, like if you're trying to converse with a woman and her body language is off, just tell her, look, just call me when you're good. Just just relax. Go rest a little bit and just call me when you're good, or something like that. Because you got as a man, even when you're in the household with a woman, you have to read her body language. And a lot of times, if you're on your P's and Q's, you're gonna be able to read her, and you're gonna know things that she's already feeling before she tells you. So you gotta be able to do that with all women, even if you're trying to talk to a stranger. Like I'm not really in the mindset to be just walking up to strangers anymore because I think it's inefficient and stupid. But if I'm nice to and I see I read her body language and it's off, I might just give her my business. Here, just call me later. If you're interested. So that's that. But so I guess we will see y'all next Saturday.
Yes, and I'm on my El Gotti page, but hopefully, I'll be able to go back live on Pretty Liddy's page, but I'm just anti-Semitic at this point, and I'm banned. And when I say I'm anti-Semitic, I'm accused of being anti-Semitic towards the real Semites, which are the Middle Easterns. And how can I be anti-Semitic if I'm a Semite? But hey, whatever. But
That's a good.
I'm, as I always say, I have this huge quote. I am as seen on TV, but I'm always banned from TV. And that's that.
Well, we'll see y'all next Saturday.
Ciao.
All right, I'll see y'all. Thank y'all for watching.